Welcome to your contractor business template training. This training is super short, but it's meant to introduce you to the different templates that we've created inside of here for you. Now, listen, this is not the end all be all, totally get it, but I wanted to give you a resource, a basic resource, so you could start to implement some of these inside of your contracting business. When you're first starting out, I get it. It's just you, it's a hammer, a truck, and a magnet on the sides that says who you are and what you do. And then eventually you start to grow. And when you grow, you start to implement systems, then you start to implement processes. And this is kind of the first step inside of that journey. So I wanted to create these for you, give you a resource. Now, all that being said, we do have training when it comes to a CRM, which is a customer relationship manager that just happens to have a lot of these different templates inside of this. So as you go through the training, you'll see some of the ones that we recommend, that we've partnered with, that we've worked with, so on and so forth. But for the meantime, this is something that you can do for free. It is inside, all these documents are inside of Google. So this is something that you can copy, you can modify and create your own. But ultimately, again, one simple central place, one simple resource for you. What I wanted to start off with is business plan templates. Now, if you're just getting started off, or if you have a business that you're seeking capital, you're going to need some type of business plan. So I'm going to show you this real quick. This is a sample construction business plan template. Again, it starts off with the basics of your company, and then it starts going into some details, right? Your mission statement, philosophy, vision, outlook, type of business, business structure and ownership, what it is that you do, i.e. your services, your market analysis, in other words, who's in the market and who's doing what. And it goes into all these different details. Now, SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, is an analysis, your marketing plan. Starting off, you're not going to need all this. If you're looking to obtain some capital for your business, you're going to need all of these things, right? So again, it goes through and it kind of defines what each of these areas or sections are. So my invitation to you is to go through and take some time and fill these out on your own based off of your type of business. So some of them you may need, some of them you may not, but again, you can customize this. This is 23 pages long. I get it, it's super long, but it is a really thorough business plan template that you can use inside of your business. The next thing is an invoice template. Some of you are handshaking, grabbing a check or some cash. I get it, you're starting out, but eventually you're going to need your own type of invoices. So here's a sample construction invoice. And again, this can be used for any contracting or trade business, right? The company name, the client or consultant name, invoice number, date, customer order, and then you're just filling in, okay, who's doing the billing, and then who are we billing, and then what are we billing them for, right? Quantity, description of work, labor name, hours, rate, and amount. All of these, again, are customizable based off of your business. This is just an example. The next thing, a bid and estimate template, right? There's a line item bid, which is when you bid based off of particular line items, right? So everything has a quantity, a unit of measurement, and a price, and you break it down by total. Some of you like to have invoices that or bids that you are very transparent with your costs, and I totally get that, and you can 100% market. So I'm going to pause this. So you can do a line item bid, or you can do an overall bid. And I'll show you an example inside of an app that we like to use, a CRM called Contractor Plus. It's super simple. You put your client name in here. You can change the billing address and the service address. You can put a title for the estimate, usually the address of where it is. If you're doing this, the estimate date, how long it's good for. And then you would just type in here, right? Concrete work, right? And then you would add that. And then materials, right? And so what is the cost on top of all of these things? Materials, right? And so you're looking now, supplies total and labor's total. Let's just say labor's $2,000, and then supplies are $2,500. You can see that in here. You can offer a discount, which is always nice to show them. and then if you require a specific deposit amount, and then what the payment schedule will be. And again, some of these have the ability for cards and for signatures, which is what we actually like inside of here. You can add photos of the project. You can add any particular documents that you need. Point is that you want to have some kind of bid template that you can use. And again, we partner with Contractor Plus. Let me know. We will have a particular login screen for you. We have special pricing through the American Contractor Network. So we'll give that to you. Just let us know that that's something you're interested in. The next thing is a material list template. What is a material list template? Well, exactly what it sounds like. Based off of the project that you have, what materials are you going to need? And this is a very good template because it shows you the status, right? You can come back to it. Hey, is it on its way? Is it on hand? Do we order it? Do we need to order? Are we researched? Is it out of stock? Where are we at with it? Where are we getting it from? You know, Home Depot, Johnny's Windows, Druid's Wood, whatever it is. What category does it fall in? What's the price, the quantity, and then the total, right? So this helps you keep track of your budget and then compared with the materials that you need for every job that you're doing. The next thing is a construction timeline template. This is exactly what it sounds like, in that you're going to need to follow some type of timeline when it comes to your project. You could be a sub and it could be super simple, or you could be a GC, or you could be a remodeler, and it gets a little more complicated, right? The bigger the job, the harder it is going to keep track of everything. So this is a really good template that helps you keep track of activities, right? Pre-construction activities, site mobilization, in other words, getting everything ready. And then you go down to everything from concrete, structural steel and exterior work, interior work, project closeout. And again, all these things are customizable, including dates, duration, who owns it, and the subcontractors involved in that process. The next thing we look at is a basic customer contract template. If you're not using contracts, I 100% highly recommend you use contracts with your clients. Here's just a very simple example for you guys. That's a final construction agreement between the owner, the contractor. Again, you put all the information in here. Here's the project site or the address. Here's where we're starting. Here's where we're completing. Here is the scope of work. Again, the more details you can get, the better. And then all work, you know, any exclusions that said and the contractor will not provide or pay for the following materials, all of which shall be provided by the owner. Sometimes there's an instance where the owner can get something cheaper than you and they're providing it. Awesome. You're not going to include that. And then any contingencies, right? If there's anything outside of the scope of work, this is how it gets resolved. There's a change order. The owner signs the change order. The owner pays for the change order, and then it gets done, right? Here's the contract price. They sign, you sign, and then some standard terms and conditions. Again, this is a CYA. We want to protect you guys. And so you want to make sure that you at least have a very basic contract in place. The last thing that we have for you is a punch list template. Punch list is what you would do is you walk through, sometimes called a blue tape template, but you walk through and say, okay, what's missing based off of the work that's already been done, okay? Hey, look, 2 light bulbs, broken tile, the doorknob, the door on the second floor, right? So you can be as detailed as you want depending on the scope of the project, but what still needs to be done, right? The subs need to come back and get the work, or my employees need to come back and do the work. Ultimately, what needs to get done to get this project taken care of so we can complete it, pass final inspection, and move on to final payment and the next thing. So again, we created these templates for you. They're very simple templates, but they're enough to get you moving in the right direction, enough to get you an idea of what it is that you need. As you get farther along inside of this program, we will have a full contractor's manual that you'll be able to access and customize that will give you much more detail on all of these things. But ultimately, again, this is business basics for you. You'll have access to this document and all of the documents that are attached to this as well.